Learning to drive a manual car can be challenging, but for those willing to give it a try, it's a skill worth having. This video is part 1 of how to move and stop a manual car. So this is like a beginner video, and we are going to talk about how to set yourself up, the best way to place your foot when driving, and then we're going to talk about the role of each pedal. So what the accelerator does, what the brake does, and what the clutch does. And then finally, we are going to talk about how to find the biting point. There is going to be part 2 of this video where we are going to talk about how to move off and stop using different techniques. So using handbrake and also without using a handbrake. If you are new to the channel, welcome and consider subscribing for more manual driving related videos. So the first thing that we are going to talk about is how to set yourself up and also the best way to place your feet when driving a manual car, because this is actually very important. It's really important that when you're driving, you set yourself up properly, because for example, let's say you're sitting too far from the pedals or you're sitting too close to the pedals, then that's going to affect the way you drive a manual car. In an automatic car, there are 2 pedals, the accelerator pedal on the right and the brake on the left. Some people also call the accelerator the gas pedal or the throttle, but these all mean the same thing. In a manual car, there are 3 pedals, the accelerator on the right, the brake in the middle, and the clutch on the left. So we have 3 pedals, but only 2 feet. The right foot controls both the brake and the accelerator, meaning you can only press one at a time, either the accelerator or the brake, not both. We don't want to brake and accelerate at the same time. So remember, it's just one choice, brake or accelerate. Place your right foot next to the brake with your heel on the floor like this. Then pivot from the brake to the accelerator like this. Brake, accelerator, and brake back to the accelerator. Keeping your heel on the floor makes the process of accelerating and braking quick and efficient. We don't want to lift the whole foot off of the brake, then move it to the accelerator like this, as that's slower and less efficient. Also, some people find it easier to angle their right foot slightly when pivoting between the brake and the accelerator. Now let's talk about the role of each pedal, and this is something that is very important, especially when you are a beginner driver, because this kind of like lay a foundation and it will help you not develop bad habits, especially when it comes to the clutch. A lot of people, they use the clutch the wrong way. They use the clutch when they are not supposed to use it, and sometimes they don't use the clutch when they are supposed to use it. So this section of the video should help you understand what each pedal does. Let's start with the brake pedal. The brake pedal has 2 functions. It slows down the car and brings it to a stop. So the only time you will need to use the brake pedal is when you want to reduce the speed or stop the car completely. In an automatic car, the accelerator has 1 function, to make the car go faster. But in a manual car, the accelerator has 2 functions. It helps prevent the car from stalling when you are moving off, especially in low gears, and it makes the car go faster. Remember, in a manual car, the accelerator and the clutch work together to move the car. By pressing the accelerator slightly before reaching the biting point, you give the engine enough power to engage smoothly without stalling. Finally, let's talk about the clutch pedal, which can be a bit confusing for many people. The clutch pedal has 3 main functions. The first is to move the car. I will explain more about this shortly. The second function is to change gears, and the third function is to prevent the car from stalling when you are coming to a stop. So while driving, you will only need to use the clutch when moving from a stop, changing gears, and just before stopping. If you are taking manual driving lessons, understanding the role of each pedal will really help you. Let's do a quick quiz. Which pedal do we need when slowing down? The brake. Which pedals do we need to move the car from a stopped position? The clutch to engage the movement, and the accelerator to prevent the car from stalling. Which pedal do you need to stop the car from stalling when coming to a stop? The clutch. Which pedal stops the car? The brake. So now that we've looked at what each pedal does, let's go through the last section of the video, which is the biting point. So this section, we go through what the biting point is and also how to find the biting point. Now, the biting point is actually one of the most important things that you need to learn when you are learning how to drive a manual transmission. And if you can master finding the biting point in one car and you are doing it properly, you should actually be able to transfer the same knowledge and drive a different car. If you really want to drive every manual car, you need to understand what the biting point is. So this section is very important. So what exactly is the biting point? I'll explain more about why a manual car stalls in a future video, but for now, just remember this. When you press the clutch down, the engine and the wheels disconnect. As you lift the clutch, the engine and the wheels reconnect, allowing the car to move. The point where they connect is what we call the biting point. In some cars, the biting point is low to the ground, and in other cars, it's somewhere in the middle, and in some, it's closer to the top. So why not just release the clutch fully, since that connects the engine to the wheels? Here's why. If you let the clutch up too quickly without finding the biting point first, one of two things will happen. You either stall or the car will jump forward unexpectedly, which could lead to loss of control. As a learner, you would want to spend some time practicing how to find this biting point. Here's how to do it. Press the accelerator slightly to around 1500 to 2000 RPM. Then bring the clutch up slowly. When you feel the car start to move forward, you found the biting point. At this point, the car will feel like it's pulling and ready to move. And when the handbrake is on, sometimes you even see the bonnet rise, a sign you are at the right spot. Once you are at the biting point, hold the clutch at that position and keep accelerating. Anyway guys, thanks for watching part 1 of the video. So learning how to set yourself up when driving a manual car, the best foot placement, what the role of each pedal is, and also how to find the biting point. In the next video, we are going to put everything together and then we're gonna learn how to move off and also how to stop using different techniques. So how to move off without a handbrake, how to move off with the handbrake, and also we are going to talk about how to stop a manual car safely. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed watching the video, you can give the video a thumbs up and also subscribe for more manual driving related videos. I'll see you in part 2 of the video.